Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a deleted user in the trueoffmychest subreddit. The post is titled, "I caught my dad watching porn." Usually, it's the parents catching the kids watching porn, and honestly, I wish that had happened instead, because that's usually how it goes, right? And now I'm stuck in this unfamiliar, uncomfortable position of whatever the hell this is. The scene: I was walking up the stairs a little after 11:30 to go take a shower. I saw the TV light ahead of me from the living room was on, and I went to check if my dad was asleep on the couch. On the 4K 55-inch TV was a woman with her fake breasts out, getting groped by some guy, but the video was paused. I then averted my eyes and walked down the hall to my room. As I was walking, I heard the TV's audio turn on, and from what I could hear, it was the History Channel my dad always watches. Some things to note: there is a wall that blocks the vision of people who are sitting on the couch from seeing downstairs and into the kitchen. I was standing on the close edge of the wall, just off the kitchen, where I could see the TV clearly, but I don't know if my dad either saw me or knew I saw the TV before he changed the channel. I believe the video was paused because he might have heard me coming up the steps and was debating whether to change the channel or continue to watch. The characters: my entire immediate family is very Christian, so watching porn or masturbation is never ever discussed. My dad is a bit less on the strict Christian side. I've spent a bit over a year working with him, and we constantly cuss things out over jobs we did together. My mom is a very religious Christian woman who can't stand even the slightest bit of cursing or anything really that isn't saint approved. The bigger problem, honestly, I have no idea how they got together, and looking over memories that I've almost suppressed, I'm not sure they should be. I have a certain memory as a kid when I heard my parents fighting in the basement, yelling at each other. Then finally, my mom coming up the stairs, which I then asked if she was okay. Then sometime in the more recent past, I remember having to step in when another argument of theirs seemed to be getting too heated. My dad was stepping closer to my mom, so that's when I intervened before anything else could happen, and they both cooled down pretty quickly. My mom got the last word in that their son had to break up the argument. But other than that, just constant childish arguments that sprout out of nowhere. Is watching porn while your wife is asleep a normal thing to do? Because I honestly wouldn't know. And if it isn't, when might my dad take it a step further and cheat on my mom? I just really hope I'm overreacting to this, but I don't know if that's just me trying to suppress another memory. If you have any suggestions for me on how to approach my dad about this, I would very much appreciate it. Any advice or thoughts would go a long way. Thank you for your time. TKS said, "We are humans, so just let it flow," I would say. Fuckerino said, "I've caught my dad like 3 times at this point. It's completely normal and natural. As for watching it when the wife is asleep, that's up to you, mom and dad. He could be being sneaky, or they could have some kind of agreement. Either way, it's their business. It feels like a pretty big step from watching pornography to cheating. I think you're overthinking it just a little bit. I wouldn't worry." This second post was made in the adultery subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, "I cheated after finding out that my husband never stopped seeing his affair partner. I grew up in a religious family and community. I married my husband young. He was my first and only partner. We had 4 children, and I stayed at home to raise them, doing an excellent job. I was happy and thought I had a good and solid marriage. The sex was good and frequent until I discovered that my devoted and loving husband had cheated after 20 years. This was 4 years ago. I stayed. At first, I stayed because I loved him and for the sake of our family, but after learning he was still cheating, something in me gradually changed. He still thinks I don't know and is compensating with gifts, getaways, and attention. The truth is, I don't really care anymore, and the reason I don't care anymore is because I am having an affair of my own. There, I said it. The man I am involved with is younger and single. I know it's only sex, but this man has literally awakened me. I know I am playing with fire, and I am the biggest hypocrite alive, but I can't stop myself. After being with one man all my life, I'm starting to discover parts of myself I never knew existed, and I love it. How many of you have affairs and know for a fact your wife or husband does too? Update. I wake in the middle of the night thinking about the day ahead. The bedroom is filled with the light snoring of my husband. In 5 hours, we will wake up. He will shower and I will make eggs and coffee for breakfast. We will both eat in silence and scroll through our phones. We will talk about going to Sunday Mass and agree that we can skip it this Sunday, pandemic and all. The noon will be spent gardening and running errands. He will come home, change, and pack his golfing gear. He goes golfing every Sunday. My husband, what he really does is see his affair partner. Of course, he does not know that I know that. I told him I would bake pecan pie while he is gone. After he leaves, I will go to my affair partner's house. The afternoon will be filled with some bed-breaking activities. I will come home before my husband to start making dinner, spent and deliciously sore. That same evening, my husband will tell me all about his golfing while eating the pie I baked just hours ago last night while he was at his mother's. Sunday can't come fast enough. Edit. So many of you sent me messages asking how my Sunday went. Well, it went according to plan, almost. The toy we ordered was too big, so we ordered a smaller one. It should arrive just in time for our next meetup. But do not worry, we made up for it in spades with some wine and roleplay. Who knew I go off on being dominant? Update 3, some advice please. My affair partner pays for all our fun extracurricular activities. I would like to pitch in and contribute equality between the sexes and since I will be engaging in anal play this Friday, I kind of feel obliged. In my grown-up, regular life, I always pay with my joint credit card. The closest ATM is an hour's drive from home, so cash is not an option. Any suggestions on how to pay my affair partner? PayPal, get a new credit card, or is that too risky? I'd love to hear how you all handle this. Update 4. My oldest daughter has been dating a very nice young man for 3 years now. Last evening during our dog walk, she shared some thoughts on her future plans that involved marriage to this young gentleman. She hinted that he will propose to her soon, probably before the summer. She then went on about how proud she was that they are saving themselves for marriage, unlike so many young people today who don't value this and that. Horny little devils. I come from a semi-religious household and community. So does my husband. We raised our family in the same spirit. Anyway, I listened to her for the duration of our walk, and even though I was not surprised at what she told me, I was quite sad that she was following in my footsteps. Once we reached our front door, I could not hold in my thoughts any longer, so I told her that she should not entertain the idea of marriage before she has lived with a man, had a few kids, survived raising at least one toddler on a bare minimum wage, and lived through at least 2 libido droughts. She was laughing at this point, but I was on a roll. Then I told her never to buy a car until you took it out for a test drive. And if you don't like the ride, go test drive some more rides until you find the one that is the right fit for you. I told my daughter that what it all comes down to is that marriage is the biggest investment anyone can make in a lifetime. No one is wise enough to make one until they have some good years of adult life under their belt. She was a bit confused and horrified at my response. But look at you and Dad, she told me. You guys obviously made the right choice when you were young. Oh, sweet girl, if you only knew what I would have told my younger self if that were possible. Purpose of this post. Ladies and gents, if your mother offers you life wisdom, take it into serious consideration. They might be onto something. Update 5. For you loyal groupies who read my post here, you know Friday was the day my affair partner's ass got busted. It was the day my 33-year-old affair partner lost his ass virginity, and it was amazing for both of us. It was unlike anything I have ever experienced before. At first, I did not know what to make of it. To say it felt strange looking at myself in the mirror, a married mother of 4, strapped around the waist with a black rubber toy hanging down, would be an understatement. We both laughed at first, and I was even doing my first helicopter performance, if you know what I mean. But once we got into the lube and groove of it, all I can say is, oh my lord. The rush of being in charge of his pleasure and the rush of being in charge overall to set the pace, to read his response, and above all, the privilege of having him put that trust in me. I have no words to describe the feeling. For the first time in my life, I got a sense of what it must be to make love like a man. And it got me thinking, if I were born a man, who would I be? After the fun was over, I just had to do it. I couldn't help myself. I treated my lover to 2 donuts, one you eat and one you sit on. Update 6. For those who follow my posts, you know my husband has an affair partner. I have an affair partner too. The difference is I know about his affair partner. He has no clue about mine. Sunday is hubby's golfing day, and by golfing, I mean it is his day to fornicate with his affair partner. And when he goes golfing, I get to see my affair partner. Golfing is his only excuse, by the way. Saturday evening, we watch the news and gasp-heavy rain is predicted in our area. I see hubby is not happy. Heavy rain with possible thunder equals no golfing. Enter sulk, sigh, sulk, sulk. Him, there goes golfing I guess, followed by a loud sigh. I guess he is staying at home. What is a horny for her affair partner wife to do? The next morning after breakfast, I tell him I have a surprise for him. I know he has been working hard lately and needs a day off to relax just on his own. I tell him I have booked him a ticket to see the new Matrix movie that he wanted to see. The nearest theater is at least an hour's drive. I calculated that the movie is 2.5 hours, and add to that at least 2 hours drive and 1 hour extra so he makes it on time. Oh, I also booked it at the far end of the nearest city for a good measure. I see his face light up. He is doing the calculations too. I can feel a pinch of guilt on his part. This nice gesture earns me a hug, puppy eyes of gratitude, a kiss, and some well-chosen words of endearment that would make any wife's heart melt. As I watch hubby drive off, I start burning rubber to my affair partner's casa. 3 orgasms later, I head home to start dinner, and I think I must have earned myself the Wife of the Year award. Now, if my husband ever complains I don't meet his needs, I can remind him of a rainy Sunday when I made sure his affair partner gave him a job. Every man should have a wife like me. Update 7. The past 2 weeks have been a roller coaster, and I needed some time just to breathe. So I did something I had never done before. I booked myself a night at a fancy spa hotel. No hubby, no kids, no pets, no affair partner, just me. I made the decision to switch my phone to airplane mode and not give in to distractions. I treated myself to some pampering, lazed about in bed, and just let my mind wander. I had a glass of wine or two. I started thinking about my body and how self-conscious I was about it when I was younger, how I found faults with just about everything except my boobs and my long legs. It dawned on me that I viewed my body through the eyes of my husband and not myself. When I started my affair, I wondered what my affair partner thought of my body. Why was he going crazy over a body that was not in its prime and that had birthed 4 big kids? Depressing, I know. Apart from quick glances after coming out of the shower, had I ever really looked at my body? After finishing my 4th glass of wine, I took off my clothes, walked to the mirror, and just stared. I then dragged the blankets from the bed and put them on the floor. I lay there for 2 hours, taking in every part of my body, every angle. I followed every curve with my gaze, and I started to cry. Tears of joy, to finally have found the courage to look at the body that has sustained me, nurtured me, given me pleasure, and 4 beautiful children. We have gone through a lot, my body and I. It never failed me. I saw a body that had the most beautiful curves and smooth skin, and let me tell you about my feet, they are perfect. Beautifully aligned toes, small and smooth. During those 2 hours, I fell in love with myself. In those moments, I realized why my affair partner was crazy about my body, and I also realized something very important. No matter what age, you are always in your prime. In the future, it won't matter what my husband or anyone else thinks about my body because I don't need to look at myself through someone else's lens anymore. I am beautiful, and I know it now finally. The next day, I got myself a pedicure and a pair of expensive pink sandals. My feet are so worth showing off. Oddly, I am developing a foot fetish for my own feet now. So, ladies and gents, next time you can spare a few minutes, look at your body and take it all in, be grateful for it, love it loves you. Update 8, 2 weeks ago, an opportunity presented itself and I was able to spend 2 days and 1 night with my OP. He is a DJ and a raver and he suggested we get high. Me, being the new version of myself, thought, why the heck not? Enter 2 little blue pills and a small piece of paper to lick. What I experienced was one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking moments of my life. And who better to tell than you, my adulterous friends, the good. I don't even know where to begin to describe the most beautiful experience I got to share with my OP. My guard was completely down and my emotions were soaring. The honest, heartfelt conversations, the privilege to listen to the most amazing and genuine man entrust me with his deepest thoughts and fears, the heightened sensations of him touching my skin and making love, feeling every inch of him in my body, breathing in his smell and taking in his moans, deeply looking into his eyes, listening to his heartbeat, closely watching his tattoos come to life and admiring his beautiful body, being fully present with another being, heart, body, and soul. This day will forever be ingrained in my memory as one of the most beautiful and intimate moments of my life. For the record, I was able to orgasm, which I was told is unusual when high on those substances, and let me tell you, I almost fainted. Oh, and one of the funniest things, I went to the bathroom and when I came back, my OP was deep in a philosophical conversation with his cat. Now I know why he named him Socrates, the bad. It was there, nagging me at the back of my head, and it just came crashing down. Coming to the realization that what I shared with my OP that day, I will never share with my husband. After his affair came to light years ago, things between us changed. I could never pin down what for sure, just that something was missing. And now I know. What I lost in my marriage is the ability to be vulnerable with my husband, and things between us will never be what they once were. This realization hit me in the shower. This heart-wrenching sob erupted out of the blue. I could hardly breathe. My OP didn't question me. It's almost as if he was waiting for this moment. He just rinsed me off, dried me off, and held me in his arms. Let it all out. I got you. You are safe with me, he told me, and I did. In that moment, I let out the pain I'd been holding since finding out about my husband's affair. I cried and cried before, but never like this. That day, the happiest and the saddest day of my life, I came to realize that there are beautiful things in life and beautiful people to share them with. My marriage is no longer serving me or meeting my needs. Aftermath. I have been feeling down lately. There is a decision to be made. My husband senses something is not right. He keeps randomly hugging and kissing me, doing more things around the house. I just feel numb and am in a bit of a funk. Who knew that drugs would have the ability to unlock some hard truths about my life that I was afraid to face? And the saddest truth of them all is about to turn my life upside down. I have fallen out of love with my husband and I don't want to reconcile anymore. Update 9 is a single younger woman. She has been in my husband's life for 5 years and counting. One thing I don't understand and I would like some insight into is this. Maybe some of you single OPs could answer this one. Ever since they got caught years ago, she has been stalking my social media. Even crazier is that she has changed her clothing to match mine. She colored her hair and cut it like mine. She even took on a hobby I am into. It's creepy. Any insight into why she would do this? We have mutual friends. One of them knows about the affair. She said the OP loves kids and talks about getting married and starting her own family. But she is close to 40, I think, and the clock is ticking. Why is she wasting her prime years on a man who is a cake eater? This situation makes me uneasy. On one hand, she is an adult and can make her own choices. But I must admit this situation makes me angry at my husband. I mean, to obviously lie and string her along when he should either leave me for her or let her go. My OP is younger than me, and I know I will let him go one day soon so he can find a more suitable woman he can settle down with and have kids of his own. That to me is selfless. But what my husband is doing to his OP is selfish beyond words. I know, maybe some of you think I should place anger on her too. I mean, she is the other woman. But from a woman to a woman, I feel sorry for her. No man is worth giving up years of your life and living on hope. This really made me think if I should let hubby know I know of his affair just to push him off the fence. I mean, I am fine if we divorce. I am fine if we don't. He has strung this woman along for years, and let me tell you, my husband is both charming and handsome. At least he should grow some courage and make a decision to be with her or let her go. It is obvious she is in love with him. My husband, on the other hand, I highly doubt his feelings for her are as strong. Any insight? Advice? This has been nagging me for days now. Your moms at my house said cheating is nothing to brag about, and it shouldn't be condoned either. Shelly895 said, honestly, I had to stop reading midway through. This is just sad all around. If she can't handle her husband cheating on her, the best way to deal with it isn't to start cheating herself. The best choice would have been to kick his cheating ass to the curb or talk about opening the marriage, not whatever the OP is doing here. This final post was made in the relationship advice subreddit by a user named Inevitable Cut. The post is titled, "My wife doesn't like it when I touch her anymore. What does this mean? Since we had kids, she has stopped being affectionate and looks visibly annoyed when I touch her. I gave her space after our first child, as I thought she would need a bit of time to adjust, but I am no longer a priority for her. I noticed this recently when I realized that she doesn't even like me touching her. She looks annoyed when I hug her or put my arm around her. She supports me at work, and she is a great mother to our children, but I am always the last thing she considers when making decisions. Some examples: she cooks dinner for her and the kids, but not me. She washes her clothes and the kids' clothes, but not mine. She puts the shopping away, but leaves my things in the bags. I do all of these things, but I obviously take care of her things too. I could never imagine cooking for myself and the kids, but not for her. These are small things, but she put our house on the market when I was away on a business trip. I mean, I have no words. She never touches me, and I don't mean in a sexual way, just hugs or kisses. I can't remember the last time she reached over to me in bed to hug me or snuggled up on the couch. When it comes to sex, it's only on her terms. Over the years, she has gradually put so many rules in place that the only time we have sex is when she texts me from the other room. I feel dirty going through with it because I obviously want to, but it's not sexy or loving, it's just like she's doing it to tick a box. After our first child was born, we didn't go on a date for about 5 years because she didn't want anyone else looking after the kids. She would say things like, "We had kids so we could parent them, not other people." I think this really hurt our relationship, as we didn't do anything together, just the two of us, for 5 years, and that's not an exaggeration. I'm starting to wonder what the point is. I have brought these topics up with her on multiple occasions, and it hasn't gotten any better. I am someone who wants to be loved and given affection, and I want to give it back, but if it's not appreciated, I don't know what to do. It was never like this before we had kids. Herps15 said, "It reads like there is a lot of resentment towards you on her part. We can't know exactly what that is, but the washing her clothes but not yours, etc. suggests to me that she's making a point about something, probably that she feels or has felt that she is bearing the brunt of house and child duties. As a woman who's recently had a baby, I can see how this stuff could start to fester, and in your case, it's been going on for a while. At the end of the day, I am so touched out and overstimulated that, honestly, I do not want to be touched or needed by anyone else. My husband would start kissing and touching me, and despite loving him very much, I would be like, can you just not? It felt to me that he wanted something from me, sex, and I was like, I just don't want someone else to need something from me. I want to be looked after a bit. We had a conversation and things much improved. It sounds like your conversation is about 5 years overdue. I would pick a time when she is not looking after the children or doing housework to talk to her openly and honestly about what's going on. No placing blame like, you don't cook for me, but in honest, I've noticed that things between us feel disjointed lately. I'd really like to talk about what we can do to reconnect and improve things, or something like that." Complex Orchid said, "She is already cheating or she is about to cheat." Dirty Scavenger said, "Maybe you could start by taking some of the load off her. She's given birth to children and her body is probably exhausted. Now she has to cook for and clean for the entire household and possibly feels very used. Then her husband seems to only want her to do things for him, such as laundry and sex. I could be wrong, but you could try giving her a week or two off from being a parent and caregiver. Maybe you will see a difference cook dinner for her and the kids without being asked, and let her come home to a pristine house. If she feels loved and cared for, she's more likely to be in the mood to express her love physically." Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.